That's right, my friends. You have tuned into Conservative Not Bitter Talk, and we, as you well know, live in a bizarro universe. We do. We live in a bizarro universe, and I got a lot of things I want to get to today. You know, it's a Friday, so it's a little bit, I don't know. I feel like on a Friday we kind of, maybe look at a couple things we wouldn't normally look at during the week, kind of catch up on some things we may have missed. There's a lot of crazy out there. By the way, email Todd at toddhuffshow.com. Thoughts, questions, opinions, feedback, adoration, and praise also happily accepted at that email address. And glad you tuned in. Thanks for joining us. So, a lot I want to get to today. And on a day like this, I go back and forth, trying to determine which thing I talk about first. For example, CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky tweeted this out yesterday. This is the tweet. Again, bizarro universe we live in, especially when the radicals among us are in positions of power. Her tweet read like this: evidence suggests that the benefits of receiving a COVID-19 vaccine during pregnancy outweighs any known or potential risks, and vaccination. And that's fine, okay? That's fine. In fact, I was just talking with someone who's expecting a little one, and she was contemplating whether or not she was going to get the COVID-19 vaccination or not. You know, I think what I consider a normal conversation when someone is expecting a child, they're thinking about the things, well, we all think or should think about the things we're putting into our bodies or whatever. But, you know, when you have a little one that you're expecting, that you're preparing to welcome into this world, you think about these things probably a little bit differently, maybe a lot differently. And she was not sure. You know, there's questions, right? There's questions. By the way, we're not allowed to ask these questions. No, you can't ask a single question. You line up and you get the freaking shot. No questions asked. Trust the science. I mean, you're given all these platitudes and talking points. Don't ask a stinking question. So I was with, she was cutting my hair. We were having this discussion. And so anyway, that's a fair part of Dr. Walensky's statement. Again, her tweet, evidence suggests, she says, that the benefits of receiving a COVID-19 vaccine during pregnancy outweighs any known or potential risks, and vaccination is essential to protect pregnant people. Now, you know what this is in regards to, right? This wasn't just, a slip of the Twitter tongue or something. This is a deliberate redefining of who gets pregnant. And of course, people, oh my goodness, people respond accordingly to that on Twitter. And this, again, you know what she's saying here. This isn't just, it's in today's world of where this so-called pause for a moment. I believe in rights for human beings, period, right? I don't think that there's, and I guess at some point I understand what people are saying. There's not trans rights, there's not gay rights, there's not women's rights, there's not men's rights. There's just rights. We're all given rights when we're created by God. And then these movements start. I pause because there's always an angle to some of these things politically, but you can make the point that these movements start because they say certain groups are not given their human rights, and so we have to make sure that people that fall into these groups are given these rights, right? And that's where this idea of trans rights comes from. But then what ends up happening a lot of times is that there's more rights given than just regular people are given, which is not right either. Some people, by the way, think that needs to happen. Some people think in order to atone for, the way that people were treated at some point from this point in time into the past, we've got to make up for that. And I don't buy into this. That you'll never, by the way, you will never end up on justice if that is your viewpoint of it. It's like a pendulum that's going to keep swinging back and forth. Because how long do I give this person more rights to make up for the fact that they were mistreated in the past? Okay, now do I have to make it up the other direction? This goes on ad infinitum. We should all just stop and say, let's treat people like people. But this is the CDC as well. The CDC, the Center for Disease Control, which is supposed to be following the science, as we're told. The CDC is supposed to be a scientific organization, a bureaucratic organization that follows the science and protecting or trying to get Americans to stay healthy. Right? Supposed to be promoting, not forcing, but promoting the general welfare, as the Constitution would say. That's what this group's supposed to be doing, following the science. Insisting that pregnant women are pregnant people may, to some, sound innocent enough, but that's not the intent. The intent is to say that whoever wants to be pregnant, you've seen the documents, or we probably even alluded to or talked a little bit about that here. Some of the changes in terminology, right? I mean, if you look at the woke crowd today and the things that we're supposed to make, take out words like mankind. Can't say that because that's not gender neutral. Man-made. Nope, can't have that. So then they start telling you what you're supposed to say. In fact, if you were a child of the 1980s, like I was, you realize I don't know how to have a conversation with someone who's woke because I just use words. In fact, when I was a kid, we used to be able to use the word he in a general sense. That just meant people. That didn't mean that we're trying to make a female conform into a man. It just meant if you were talking about a general person, you used the word he, and it was understood that it was just a person. We just didn't have a word to describe both men and women. You can say, well, Todd, you could have used they, but that's not technically right either because I'm talking about one person, not multiple. But we've got that problem today, too, with our preferred personal pronouns. I go by they, them. I don't. I mean, this is what people say, and to my thinking, I'm thinking, is that to me implies multiple. It doesn't, to me, anything. That's they and them is multiple. It's not singular. Anyway, so we've got the CDC director out there in an organization that's supposed to be following the science, telling us about pregnant people. So we've got that out there on the scene. We've got what's happening on the southern border, which is an unmitigated disaster. Again, I've said on this program for some time, again, Bizarro Universe we live in here. Up is down, black is white, day is night. Just there is an assault on truth. There is an assault, especially if you claim absolute truth. A lot of these folks don't want anything to do with that. They try to deny that. In fact, they'll tell you essentially that it's absolutely true, that there is no absolute truth, which let that sink in for a moment. But nonetheless, this is at its core what we're facing, and it's why there's all this craziness. It's that people want to, society, the leaders, the bureaucratic state, those who want to run from truth so much that they're willing to reject it at any cost. And this is the kind of stuff they end up saying. Pregnant people, denying the fact that pregnant people are women, pregnant women. It's just craziness. Here's another. You look at what's happening on the southern border. Secretary Mayorkas, that's Alejandro Mayorkas, the Homeland Security Secretary, announced just maybe yesterday 212,672 migrant encounters in July. The numbers are at all-time highs. In fact, Mayorkas is even saying the border is one of the toughest challenges we face. When President Trump left office, we didn't have this problem. I'll tell you what else we didn't have. We didn't have Afghanistan falling back into the hands of the Taliban. What these jokers have done internationally with Afghanistan now, with the border situation. Remember, Biden was going to come in and just nip COVID-19 in the rear. Biden was going to ride in on his white horse, and he was going to save us from all the problems that Trump had caused. By the way, I found myself asking this question yesterday. When do and I don't say this, I hesitate to say this because I don't, there are real lives here, but just for the sake of where this goes politically, okay? So I don't take any joy in saying this, but I think it's worth pointing out. When do we start tabulating and calculating COVID deaths and attaching those to Biden and Biden's decision? How long into his presidency are we supposed to be doing that? Because they did it for Trump, right? I mean, they did. They blamed hundreds of thousands of people dying specifically on the actions or lack of action of Donald J. Trump. I'm not even suggesting we really should do that. I'm just saying, when do the people who behave like this, when will they start that tally, that tabulator? They won't, because of whatever reason they give you. This is Trump's virus. Biden had it when he got into office. Well, okay, that's fair enough, but if that's the case, China's the one that is where this started, and the evidence suggests it leaked from a lab, which we were told, by the way, was fake news, and that wasn't following the science when we were first talking about this. I remember talking about this, gee whiz, maybe a year ago. Raising that, maybe at the beginning, people were asking the question, where did this come from? Right? We know it started in Wuhan. There happens to be a big lab there that tests this kind of stuff. It looks like the outbreak was right around there. Just based upon that, you don't have to be Detective Clouseau here to start putting these pieces together and asking questions, but you're not allowed to ask the questions. Again, Bizarro Universe doesn't allow you to ask questions because there's no answers. It's so patently obvious. Again, in this example, if you've got a disease, if you've got coronavirus, COVID-19, which is caused by the coronavirus, that's concentrated in a city in China around a lab where they test said viruses, or viruses like this. We didn't know specifically, but this sort of thing seemed to be a reasonable, at least, question to ask. You're not allowed. No. You know why you're not allowed? Because they don't have any answer for it. They don't. They are busy trying to get you to believe that pregnant people exist and not just pregnant women. They try to get you to believe that men can have babies and women are not, the only ones who hold that right or have that ability or whatever. They're so busy trying to cram all these other things down your throat, they realize at some point we can't provide stupid answers for everything. Unfortunately, I think that they can for some people. Some people don't have any critical thinking skills. They don't have any curiosity. They don't care. They don't care. And it is an unmitigated disaster. Biden and the Democrats have it is truly it is a dumpster fire. It really is. With immigration, all-time high. We just ignore it. People coming across with COVID, getting released into the general population, catch and release policies, stopping the border wall, saying walls don't work. Meanwhile, watching people come to the border and telling them, literally saying, for news reporters there, we're coming because Biden's president. And people are scratching their heads, man, we can't figure this out. We don't know why. We don't know why there's a crisis at the border. In fact, we have some people. I talked to someone a few months ago who acted like there was no problem at the border. And I think, are you stinking kidding me? What news outlets are you watching? Are you watching MSNBC? By the way, Nicole Wallace, I've got a soundbite from her as well. Nicole Wallace, who worked with Bush, who's as big of an anti-Trumper as they come. Nicole Wallace had a guest, and they were talking about how the GOP is basically becoming the modern-day jihadists. I kid you not. They really had this discussion. in the wake of January 6th because Trump met with the family of Ashley Babbitt. That's akin in these lunatics' minds. That's akin to President Bush circa 2004 sitting down with some family of a jihadist, some Al-Qaeda terrorist family back in 2004. That's what they compared this to. I'll play the soundbite. It's a lengthy discussion, but there's a segment of it that goes into that. So there's all sorts of stuff. And on a Friday, I like to kind of hit and go through some of these things that we probably didn't get to or couldn't have gotten to during the week because we were talking about, some of the meatier things, especially this infrastructure bill, which we talked about a lot this week. So timeout's in order. Got plenty of more things to talk about here in the Bizarro Universe that we're being led into by the radical left. The radical left, they believe in nothing, yet they believe in everything. And this is what happens when you have these jokers running the show. They reject absolute truth. They reject reality. They reject freedom of choice. You do what they say. You don't ask any questions. Got a judge, by the way, in Hamilton. Is it Hamilton County? A county in Ohio. Bear with me here. A judge in, Hamilton County. Oz says yes. Oz told me this morning that's Cincinnati. I don't know if that's true or not, but Oz says that it is, so we're going to think that she's right. But 21-year-old man was told by the judge that he either has to get the coronavirus or COVID vaccine or face 18 months in prison. What in the world is this world coming to? There's a story to that, but that's the judge's orders. Judge's ruling. Timeout's in order. Deep breath. Bizarro Universe may be true, but folks, you can live in reality still. There's a lot of folks that still live in reality with you. Maybe not as much as did yesterday, but folks are longing for truth. So this should be concerning, get our attention. It should cause us to become involved and to take action and to try to persuade others to accept truth and to stand up at school board meetings and all that sort of stuff. But it shouldn't. I know some people get over, just a little bit panicked at this stuff, but no need for that. There really isn't. Deep breath. Remember God's in control and that people still hunger for truth and for light. So it's our job to proclaim it and to shine it. Quick time out. Back here in just a minute.
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Gray Brothers Cafeteria, R&R Products, and Reformation by supporting supportouradvertisers.com today.
Quality glass windows and doors add value to your home or commercial space. At White's Innovative Glass, our family-owned and operated company will work with you to ensure we understand your vision before we begin. And if you don't have a vision, we can help with that too. We proudly stand behind our work and look forward to your call. Right now, we're offering 15% off your next project. Visit our website at whitesinnovativeglass.com/Todd.
Stop by the Canby Smoke Shop. Our new store location at 8411 Windfall Lane in Canby has a wide selection of tobacco, hookahs, glass, vape, and vape juice. If you mention Todd's name, we'll give you 10% off on your first purchase. Until the end of August, we have a special on disposable vapes that is buy one, get one free. We look forward to serving you. That's the Canby Smoke Shop. Great pricing, great selection.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Kill a Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with zero body fillers, zero painting, and zero diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember, folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing Everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
Our word can't be diluted, because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Family owned since 1973, Edwards Equipment at 1375 East Main Street in Danville is ready to meet your equipment needs by selling, renting, and servicing several makes and models of lightweight residential or heavy-duty commercial equipment. We carry and service top-name brands like Ferris, Kubota, Steel, Gravely, Honda Power, Land Pride, and more. Visit edwardstractor.com or call 317-745-6427 to check out our clearance specials today. At Edwards Equipment, we don't just sell you any piece of equipment, we sell you the right piece of equipment.
Weddings, reunions, business, church, or family retreats, Indiana Paradise Retreat is a hidden gem located right here in central Indiana. With over 11,000 square feet, a theater, gym, sauna, hot tub, pool, stocked lakes, and even an on-site event hangar, we have just the place for your next event. Find us on Airbnb, VRBO, or just search for Indiana Paradise Retreat. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Welcome back, my friends. Look, I know we've covered a lot of crazy already this morning with what's going on, and I know that that's a lot for some to take in, but again, we have to be concerned, but I just think all this should do is motivate us to action, right? We shouldn't sit and worry, chew our fingernails, and wring our hands. We should get up. We should go out. We should attend the school board meetings. We should find people who are candidates we can support. Understand you're not going to find the perfect candidate. There's some locally here. I'm thinking about Senator Todd Young in particular. I'm not the least bit enthused about this, but better than what a Senator Joe Donnelly would have been for the state of Indiana. And who knows, maybe there'll be someone who challenges Senator Young in the primary, a serious contender. I don't know. But we shouldn't throw up our hands or just give up hope. That's what the left wants us to do. They want us to do that. And fortunately, people aren't. I think if you look at what's happening at these school board meetings around the country, yes, it's concerning what's happening in our schools, and I'm not minimizing that. But at the same time, people have been awakened. People are not putting up with it. You see people that have never attended a school board meeting before. Some of these crowds at the school board meetings are, just busting at the seams. And one of them, they were outside the meeting. I don't think they could even get inside. So there is an awakening. Truth is still accepted by people. And you got to figure a lot of people are followers. If they think that it's easier to go in line with the nonsense and just play along and not say anything, they will. But if they see strong people proclaiming truth and it makes sense to them, they're not against, supporting that movement as well. But it takes effort. It takes the decision to say, I'm not just going to sit here and wring my hands. I mentioned this a couple times. MSNBC. MSNBC is the home of literal insanity. I mean, it is beyond insane what goes on that network. I watch it sometimes for entertainment. Like I'm a big fan of Impractical Jokers. I don't know if any of you watch that. I love those guys. They are hilarious. Not always the most edifying stuff, but funny stuff. The kind of stuff that, I don't know, we didn't obviously do it to that extent, but, the stuff that a lot of guys with their buddies might do on a much lesser level than these guys do. But funny stuff, right? I tune in for pure entertainment. That's how I tune into MSNBC, just to see what they're going to say next that is not living in reality. And so here's an example. Nicole Wallace, who used to work with President Bush. This, by the way, is supposedly the Republican. She's supposed to be, if you follow the mainstream narrative, this is the Republican you're supposed to emulate. Nicole Wallace. She's sophisticated. She understands and can find some common ground with the radicals. She can articulate the radical leftist viewpoints better sometimes than the radical leftists can. And she says some really bizarre, and I want to be nice, just some crazy things. I mean, she's at the right network. So she has this guest on here, and they're talking about President Trump in his meeting with Ashley Babbitt's mother and I think husband, I think is who he met with. He made a press release. He had a press release earlier this summer that said, who killed Ashley Babbitt? Which, by the way, is a very fair question. Ashley Babbitt, as you know, was the individual that was shot and killed at the Capitol on January 6th. And you've probably seen the video. There are questions. Why was she shot? Who shot her? Just imagine, again, just compare and contrast this with what happens. Just take Officer Darren Wilson and Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. We needed to know everything about that officer, where he, what he looked like. We saw pictures of him. The guy had to move. I mean, the guy effectively is in the witness security program. I mean, really, he had to effectively change his identity. This guy, it wasn't safe for him. And I'm not saying that that's what I want for this officer. That's not my point, but I'm simply saying there's no curiosity here. There's no question. It's just the narrative is Ashley Babbitt was an insurrectionist and some Capitol Hill officer shot and killed her trying to stop the invasion of the Capitol on January 6th. Again, you can watch the video, right? I mean, you can watch the video. There was no immediate danger being posed. She wasn't armed. I mean, part of the narrative is this officer was trying to save his life. I understand it was an intimidating situation. I'm not saying that there was not anything going wrong with the people that were there. I'm simply saying we can't even ask these questions. In fact, if you ask these questions, and if you did what Trump did and you meet with these parents, you're now being compared, quite literally, to terrorists. This is insane. Listen to this. This is a serious conversation on MSNBC.
I mean, Nicole, you were there in the Bush years. Can you imagine if President Bush had met with either the widow or a mother of a jihadist that had killed American troops or was trying to kill American troops? It would have been an absolute political scandal of epic proportions. That's what it would have been. And we've become so numb to Donald Trump's crass, inappropriate, and outlandish behavior like this that it's almost not getting covered in certain corners. So I'm so glad you're raising it, because it is the equivalent delusional of going to meet with someone who was trying to attack our democracy itself, the mother of someone who was trying to attack our democracy itself. It's the wrong thing to do. It's politicizing this issue. But at the end of the day, Nicole, as you hinted at the top end,
this is pure stupidity. This is 100% stupidity. This guy comes on here like some intellectual, has all these answers, comparing meeting with Ashley Babbitt's family. Can you imagine if President Bush in the early 2000s sat down with the widow or the parents of some terrorist who killed or tried to kill American soldiers, American citizens? Pause everything. Who did Ashley Babbitt try to kill? Is there evidence here that she tried to kill anybody? Did she have a weapon? Did she have a bomb? What on earth is this joker talking about? This is truly delusional. This is the kind of stuff that is attractive to people who don't follow, who don't think about it themselves, who just listen to the platitudes. They hear insurrection, they hear Capitol invasion, they hear January 6th commission, they see representatives tearing up on when they're asking the questions. They see all this stuff, and then they say, "Man, this is serious." And they just jump to conclusions. Literally, this is nothing at all like meeting with a member of the Al-Qaeda Widow Club. This is nothing at all like this. Was Ashley Babbitt chanting death to America and death to Israel as she stormed the Capitol? She was outside the door. Now, she was, I think, reaching through the door or something, or the window, whatever it was. It's been a while since I've seen the video. But there's legitimate questions. What risk was the officer that shot her in when he fired that weapon? This seems to be, I mean, even though she's white, it seems to me that the people who were in the Black Lives Matter movement would say, hey, this is something, candidly, that there's much more questions about than there were with Michael Brown and Darren Wilson and Ferguson. Michael Brown attacked Officer Wilson. Officer Wilson shot Michael Brown at a close distance because he was basically on top of him. They said Michael Brown was a kid. He's a humongous. He's 18. I think he was 18. He just committed a strong arm robbery, and then he attacked an officer, and Officer Wilson shot him. That is much more cut and dry than what happened to Ashley Babbitt. Maybe there's reasons. I don't know, but you're not allowed to ask the questions. That's part of the bizarro world that we live in today. You're not allowed even to ask the question. And then stupid comparisons like this are made by people who have, this guy worked in Homeland Security that's on here saying this. This guy has no business being anywhere near any position that requires any critical thought whatsoever. This is delusional, my friends. Absolutely, positively, 100% delusional. And just like anything else on MSNBC, I mean, it falls into that category. But this guy, I don't even know what to say to this guy. This guy may be beyond help. I don't know. This is really, his critical thinking skills are non-existent, or he's been completely programmed by some radical in some university or somewhere, some academic, into believing this nonsense. This is just, and this is sad. The critical thinking skills here are deplorable, dare I say. But anyway, there you go. Bizarro universe we live in. Quick timeout. Listen to Conservative Not Better Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Ward's Apparel, Edwards Equipment, and Indiana Wooded Paradise Retreat by visiting supportouradvertisers.com today.
Corn Homes is expanding their 55-plus community. Briar Creek is the only senior manufactured home community in Indianapolis featuring Indiana-built homes. Floor plans and finishes starting at $75,000. Enjoy affordable, low-maintenance lifestyle with the charm of a residential neighborhood. Located minutes from I-465 in Fort Harrison State Park. Corn Homes, family owned and operated since 1955. Check us out at COHRONhomes.com. Mention the Todd Huff Show and receive a $1,000 discount on your new home.
Were you surprised by your tax return last year? Did you get a large refund? Or worse, did you have to pay more than you thought to the IRS? Or maybe you just got a new job, had a baby, or are going into retirement. Why wait for another tax surprise this year? Let Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group help you project your taxes for the year to save you the stress come tax time. 317-288-5260. Jody and his team will analyze your paychecks to see if you're withholding too much or too little and help make corrections to any W-4s. If you're the sole proprietor of a business, this is a great idea for you to prepare for your tax filing. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and their new location in Greenfield. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. And don't wait. The sooner you act, the more prepared you can be for any hidden tax surprises. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com.
Has it been a while since your last eye checkup? Has your eyesight changed? At Best Insight Eye Care, they keep an eye on your vision. Their doctors use the most advanced technology and eye care products available. At Best Insight, you will find professionals who genuinely care about you and are dedicated to providing exceptional service. Mention this ad for 10% off your glasses purchase. Schedule your appointment at the Southeast Side, Indianapolis, or New Palestine locations by visiting bestinsighteyecare.com or calling 317-782-4000 to get the best insight.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Fireplaces can be beautiful and even essential in heating some homes. But did you know they could be dangerous to your family if not properly maintained? Chimneys need to be cleaned and inspected annually. My family and I had Smalling Masonry inspect ours. They are friendly, informative, on time, and helped us use our wood-burning stove more efficiently. Call Christian-owned Smalling Masonry today at 317-903-8121 and mention my name, Todd Huff, for a 15% off chimney inspection and sweep.
The compassion of Christ. It's living life connecting to the broken and messy world. It's not simply walking down the street and dropping a quarter in someone's bucket. It's been perverted by Satan from biblical compassion to feeling sorry for, and sympathy isn't where God wants us to live. It's connecting to broken people in our daily life. Living the compassion of Christ.
Flooded basement, failed sump pump. Water damage happens fast this time of year. For 38 years now, Hayes & Sons has been restoring water damage in Indiana homes and businesses. They'll help you navigate your insurance claim and get your life back on track. So when a water disaster strikes, tell your insurance agent you want Hayes & Sons for your restoration work. Visit hayesandsons.com/Todd for more information. Welcome back. Program brought to you in part by our friends at Carriage House Woodworking. Carriage House Woodworking, located in Plainfield, just a little bit west of the city of Indianapolis. Countertops, cabinets, they're family owned. They'll walk you through every step of the process. You get a free sink base with qualifying purchases. And Carriage House Woodworking, 317-406-3042. 317-406-3042. Be sure to tell them that Todd sent you. I'm going to have to take a break here quickly because of just I was been long the past two segments. But I want to reference or set us back up, and I want to get to this after the break. I referenced this earlier. This is on a website called roguereview.net. And I referenced it earlier today. Headline, Judge orders 21-year-old, quote, get the jab or face 18 months behind bars. That was a ruling in Ohio's Hamilton County, which Oz has told me is Cincinnati. I'm going to trust her on that. But this is Judge Christopher Wagner. And I'm going to read a quote from his ruling. and talk about this after the break. But I got to do that after the break because I've gotten us off the time constraints by being long-winded, especially the last segment. So quick timeout is in order. Sit tight. When we come back, we'll talk about this ruling by a judge forcing a 21-year-old to get vaccinated or face 18 months in jail. This is literally where we are today. Let this sink in. Is this America? Yesterday, I have to, for the podcast purposes, we have to, title our programs. Yesterday's title was Un-American. This is un-American. This is un-American. This concept. I mean, there are people cheering this. This is exactly what we need. We need forced mandates. You got employers forcing people left and right. Talk about it after the break. Sit tight, back in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
How would you like to get a $1,000 bonus after just 3 months on the job? Sound good? If so, Wallace Construction is ready to hire you today. They're a family-owned business with 45 years experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. Call 317-422-5356 to find out more about this $1,000 bonus opportunity. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356. Be sure to tell them Todd sent you.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $100 down, $200 down, back at $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Our sense of smell stimulates memory and emotion. A scent can seemingly transport us to another place in time. Homemade, hand-poured candles and melts from spur-of-the-moment creations will give your nose the experience the rest of your body is missing during any season of the year. Crackling firewood, fresh-cut grass, Macintosh apple, and even racing fuel are some of their over 200 engaging fragrances. Visit spurofthemomentcreations.com and enter coupon code TODD at checkout to receive 15% off your order today.
Let's face it, moving is stressful. That's why Jones Movers, a family-owned business for over 40 years, is here to help. Our team is ready to help and respond quickly to your questions. We can handle local and out-of-state moves, which means we can move your items to wherever your pin drops on the map. We also offer self-storage units for furniture and items you need a place for. Go to jonesmovers.com to get things moving today, or visit our Facebook page, Jones Movers.
Welcome back. I just saw something else I want to talk about, so I'm going to get through this really quickly. Judge orders 21-year-old get the jab or face 18 months behind bars. Again, reading from this website, roguereview.net. It says this: a judge in Ohio's Hamilton County, where this publication was founded, has ordered a 21-year-old man to either get the COVID-19 vaccine or serve 18 months in prison. The man, named Brandon Rutherford, had been arrested for a minor possession of fentanyl. Judge Christopher Wagner included the following points in the sentencing hearing. I'm just a judge, not a doctor, but I think the vaccine's a lot safer than fentanyl, which is what you had in your pocket. You're going to maintain employment. You're not going to be around a firearm. I'm going to order you within the next 2 months to get a vaccine and show that to the probation office. And apparently, Wagner also told Rutherford he would send him to state prison for violating the community control conditions. Cincinnati's WCPO reported the following. According to the transcript, Wagner threatened to send Rutherford to state prison for up to 18 months if he violated conditions of community control, which is commonly referred to as probation. Unfortunately for Rutherford, a healthy man in his early 20s, the vaccine does not seem to even defend against transmission. I'm reading from the website here, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, etc., because we know that the fact checkers will be all over that. It is also under emergency use authorization only at the moment in the United States, which doesn't give anyone extra reason to feel comfortable with the experimental jab. Again, I'm reading from the website, Facebook, Twitter. That's not to mention its lack of FDA approval. Anyway, there you go with that. Now, I know some of you, well, Todd, he's got fentanyl. Okay. I mean, this is how this happens, though, right? It's an erosion. It's people, well, you know, it's understandable that they force this person or that person. It's small groups of people or it's individuals, right? And the next thing you know, it's being forced upon you and me. And then when you, not you, but the person who wasn't concerned when everyone else was being forced or highly pressured or whatever, they weren't concerned until it became them. They suddenly realized, well, no one seems concerned about me now. Well, that's how this works. Anyway, so there's that. During the break, I got an email from the New York Times, so we know this has to be accurate. New York Times is reporting, as of about 10 minutes ago, I got this email. Breaking news. Everything's breaking. Breaking news. Breaking news. 9 moderate Democrats, House Democrats, I should say, intend to tell Speaker Nancy Pelosi that they won't back a vote on a budget plan until an infrastructure bill is passed. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This cannot make the Democrats happy, my friends. This is what we talked about earlier this week. If you remember our conversation about former Indiana Congressman Barron Hill, Democrat, back in the, 2009, 2010 era, back when the so-called Affordable Care Act was passed, and he stood up there at that podium and he said, "This is my town hall meeting. I don't know who you jokers think you are out here in the public, but this is my meeting." I'm throwing in some words, but that was the definite feel of that meeting. I was there, wagging his finger at the crowd. "Who do you think you are? It's my meeting. I'm the congressman. Do as I say," right? I mean, total misunderstanding of the role of a representative, right? Elected representative. Total misunderstanding of what we have. But nonetheless, that's what he did. And I was talking about Blue Dog Democrats. I was talking about the pressures. And I was talking about how they lost their seats in 2010 in the midterms, right? In the first election after President Obama was elected to office, that first midterm election, Democrats got shellacked in part because they forced through the radical Affordable Care Act. And the moderates, so-called moderates, were wiped off the proverbial face of the planet when it came to the election. Well, these 9 moderate Democrats, and I don't have names yet, but supposedly today they're going to write a letter or release a letter that says they're not going to vote on the budget plan, which includes $3.5 trillion of Democrat wishes, right, that they're using reconciliation to pass. And they need those 9 votes. So they're saying we're not going to play the game of this being one package. We're going to pass the infrastructure bill first before we even look at the other. This causes the political repercussions on this, if they hold the line on this, are serious. It could potentially, who knows, it could potentially stop this monstrosity of a $3.5 trillion Democrat, radical, liberal, leftist wish list from getting passed. Got to take a break. Back in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items, at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
When life is hard for the women you care about, there is help with issues such as widowhood, anxiety, depression, or abuse. They don't have to go through it alone. Peace Restored is there to walk with women through the journey. Peace Restored helps women through free mentoring, counseling, and education. When life is hard, Peace Restored is there to help women you care about find hope and healing. To learn more, visit peacerestored.net.
Are you tired of manually opening the gate every time you pull in the drive, especially during the freezing cold, pouring rain, or hot, humid weather? Then Gatekeeper Services has your solution. They offer affordable residential and commercial motorized units for your gated properties. Veteran-owned with over 50 years' experience in motorized gate sales and repairs on any make or model, and with numerous entry control options, Gatekeeper Services takes pride being certified in both automated gate system design and operator installation. Simplify your life today by calling 317-714-4061.
I want to get one more season out of my furnace or air conditioner. Have you or someone you know ever made that statement? Economy heating, air conditioning, and plumbing has heard it a lot. Did you know that furnaces and air conditioners are most likely to break down when they're under stress? That means during the hottest and coldest months of the year, like those months quickly approaching us. With winter on the horizon, now is the time to replace that old rickety unit. With 0% financing for up to 72 months and up to $600 in instant rebates, now is the time to buy. Doing great work is Economy's priority, and the satisfaction of their customers is their number one goal, guaranteed. Make your home comfortable this winter. Contact Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing today by calling 317-831-5279 or visit them at economyheatingandair.com. There is plenty to worry about these days. If you're working with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual, your retirement and financial security doesn't need to be one of them. Blake is a time-tested financial advisor with over 20 years of experience at Northwestern Mutual. For an independent review of your financial planning needs, call Blake and mention the Todd Huff Show for a free initial consultation. Call 317-215-8322 or visit blakehornsby.com. Invest in your peace of mind with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual. Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? There is a cure. With the Pro-Life Health Plan, your savings could be as much as 60%. The Pro-Life Health Plan allows you to enjoy the freedom of choosing any doctor, any hospital, anywhere. And their enrollment is open year-round. Just give Eric a call at 888-448-5370 or visit them online at isellhealth.com. Better coverage at a better cost. You know, I'll tell you what's going to end up happening here. You're going to see an increased pressure. You're going to see an increased pressure on Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema to do away with this filibuster. Because if they can't use these shenanigans and tricks to pass this legislation, the left is going to lose their ever-loving minds. They thought they had a system figured out. Schumer was out there all cocky. Pelosi out there